I got another Chris Reeve. It's the 6th one that I've owned. And the 5th one currently in the collection. Arch Nemesis. That sounds about right. Got myself a large Nkosi. Came with all the tools. Good. Used. I don't usually buy new Chris Reeve knives. I buy them used. Way cheaper. So that needs cleaned. But now that we're done with that part, we can loosen this. I mean, they come with Allen wrenches, so I don't have any complaints personally. If it didn't come with the tools, I would probably agree with you. All right, let's get that second one out. These washers are huge. So this is the worn side, so we'll go like this. And this. Probably because Torx are harder to make. God damn, that's hard to hold. It's just a round bar that's dirty. Yeah, one of my designs has a similar thing going on. I just can't afford to have it made yet. Now, none of these are, none of the screws or anything stay in place. They all spin freely. So, that's not super fun to deal with. Zent, what's up? Beautiful. So now it's all in pieces. We can clean it up real quick. Nope. I have no tips. Nope. I spend all my money on knives. Why do you think that I'd spend any of my money on somebody else? Okay, so we're going to start by putting some grease on that. Okay. Let's grab some Q-tips. Steve, what's up? How's it going? Okay. So this one does take the sandwich method to put it back together. The Sebenza doesn't. Glad to hear it. The Sebenza it has its own way of being put together. So we're going to start with the stop pin. And then we're going to move over to the pocket clip. Now when I'm tightening these things, I go until the Allen wrench bends a little bit because it flexes and then it bounces back. That's about enough torque for all of these. Now that works really well on the Sebenza. It does not work as well on the Nkosi when you have the pivot the way that it is. The pivot takes 2 Allen wrenches that are thicker, and you will likely break something if you do that on an Nkosi. Okay. Clean that, and then gotta find a way to shove one of these in there to clean it off. Yeah, there was a shit ton of dust in there. Beautiful. Okay, next step. If you want to put your lanyard on, this would be the time to do it. It goes around right here on this. I just choose not to do it. You got to wrap it all the way around, and I don't like lanyards, so it's not going on. Okay, next we push this through. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off and put a tiny bit of grease on it. And since I already greased the inside of that hole, it'll just slip right on fine. Wipe up the excess. Then a bit of grease right here. Here. Okay. Now this is where the pain in the butt comes in, because you have to line everything up. Ooh, what a pain. There we go. Ooh, boy, that's tight. I'll tell you what, the Sebenza is a lot easier to deal with. There we go. It really is a good looking knife. And now we're going to sharpen it. This one should be in MagnaCut, or else I probably wouldn't have bought it. So let's go ahead and put all the tools away. And if anybody's curious, Oh, that's not for that one. This one is. I do have a small Inkosi up for sale. It is way smaller than the large though. But if you got small hands, it'll be a good knife. Ooh, one thing that I forgot. Gonna grab some grease and this tool that I made. Here on the blade, there is a wear spot where the detent ball rides. We're gonna put a little bit of grease on that. Just a little bit. And then we're going to open it until it's almost all the way open and hold it there. And we're going to put some on the detent ball on this side. And that's going to help with lock stick and the action overall. These sometimes do develop a little bit of lock stick. It's not as bad as Striders get. It's just kind of there. But yeah, it's not very bad. And that grease helps quite a bit. Okay, next step is sharpening. Now for sharpening on this one, we will be using a 400 grit diamond stone. The stone cost me $20. It's on Amazon for like 22 right now. And I've gotten great results out of it. Based on how it's sharpening, I'm going to say it's probably in the 64 HRC range, if not like a little bit higher. And the reason I say that is it's skating across the stone like the stone isn't doing anything. High hardness steels tend to do that. It's not a huge deal. strop I made. It's a 6-inch piece of belt leather with Lacey's diamond compound on it. The diamond compound I use is 5 micron. And it's not like I need it because I get wicked sharp edges without stropping. But it's that last little touch, and it does amazing. It does wonders. Highly recommend it for just for those of you who are getting new into sharpening. It's interesting how much it changes your edge. Okay, and now for the last step before stropping. I take it to a natural stone now. I didn't used to, but I've gotten some insane edges off of this thing. So I don't put the stone on anything. I just hold it. Sidon, what's up? Joseph, what's up? Appreciate the like. I just got one of my dream knives, so I'm doing pretty damn good. It's hard to beat that feeling when you finally get something you've been saving up for. Give me just a second to clean up and I'll show it off a little bit more. I gotta put some stuff away. Oh yeah, I've been giddy all morning now that I got it. Well, afternoon. It showed up afternoon. I got a notification from the post office saying that it's at my front door. And I'm like, hell yeah. Go about like that. There we go. Yet another Chris Reeve. You know what I've noticed about Jared is he uses a lot of narrow angles to get knives really sharp. And I don't because I don't want to chip them. So my angle is sharp as shit, right? And it's 20 degrees per side. Yeah. I don't like doing low angle edges because I'm scared of chipping it. Even though I don't do anything really demanding of my knives, I just have, I feel better knowing that it's got some thickness behind the edge instead of being super thin. The super thin edges bother me. I did one on a give me a sec to find it. I did roughly an 18-degree angle on this one, and the bevel is huge, and it's not quite as sharp because I wasn't as good at sharpening back when I did this. I held an angle just fine. It's just I wasn't as good back then. In practical use, yes. Supposedly, it makes it feel like the edge lasts longer. But if you're doing any hard use stuff, I highly recommend going with a 20-degree. I don't do hard use stuff either. It's just for it eases the mind, knowing that it's not likely that I'm gonna break it. Really is a good looking knife. I don't know why I waited so long to get one. But yeah, 15-degree per side edges. They are sharper because they're thinner. But oh sure, but you still gotta sharpen the fixed blades too, so when you're doing stuff like cardboard, apparently it lasts longer if you do a narrower edge angle. But when you're doing any hard use like carving or anything like that, then it completely destroys the purpose. It'd probably be good for fibrous materials though, like leather, paper, cardboard, that kind of stuff. Need to loosen this one just a tad. And yeah, you're right. It heavily depends on the steel. And some steels just don't like low angle edges. I think MagnaCut's fine with it, but steels like Maximit, they don't really enjoy stuff like that. They're chippy already. So yeah, I'm happy to help when I can. Gonna go ahead and tighten this just a little more. Okay. And I'll leave that like that to break in. Beautiful. Sure. I mean, we all start somewhere. I do recommend starting on knives that aren't overly cheap because the super cheap knives are really hard to sharpen. Something like you were saying, some sort of Boker or something in D2 that you know is decent, that will help. But starting on a knife that's $4, $3, something like that, where the blade steel just says stainless steel, you're gonna have issues. They are not easy to sharpen. They take significantly longer. Sharpening this, now that I have an edge on it, sharpening it, it'll take 3 minutes. And I'll get right back to that screaming sharp stuff I was doing earlier. But something like this. This thing was part of a Mossy Oak knife set. Something like this will probably take me between 5 and 10 minutes. Even though it's already sharp. Oh, it's not. Even if it was already sharp. The softer steels have a burr that doesn't want to go away. So that's why I don't enjoy dealing with them. I need to go take some pictures. So now we run the real question. Do I get this thing reblasted? It's got one scratch right there, the big one, and a few minor scuffs. But it looks fine. And it's a lot less grippy, so it shouldn't hurt my pants. Or I can wait up to a week and get it back fully sandblasted. I'm leaning towards staying. Maybe getting it blasted another day. This one's going to take some getting used to. I'm so used to this one. And I lighten the detent on this one even though you're not supposed to. If they ever figured it out, that would void the warranty immediately. You know what was really funny was when I handed it to one of their service guys the other day, like a month ago. After I bent the frame back out of the way so that it was easier to open, and he gave me this funny look after opening it and closing it a couple times. He didn't say anything, but I think he knew. Just to make sure. I was talking about how I bent the frame on this one back so that it wasn't so hard to open. And I brought it to the service manager at Chris Reeve and was showing it off to him, and he opened it and closed it a few times, and he was giving me this funny look, and I think he knew that I bent it. He didn't say anything about it, but he gave me a funny look. I think he knew. It's a risky move because if you break the frame, they're not going to cover that. But yeah, I'm going to say that he probably knew because all he ever deals with is these, pretty much. Well, I think I'm going to head out and take some pictures. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Yeah, I'll drop by my local knife shop and show off my new Nkosi. Even though the guy that works there already carries one. So he already knows what he's looking at. All right. You have fun, Cody. And you did get the knives, so we're all clear on that. That's just so sharp. That took me less than 5 minutes. I was tempted to modify that Minimal X and make it so that it doesn't suck to close it. Because that frame lock sucks to get to. I'd probably go towards a Lynch Northwest of some sort. Yeah, so what I was going to do was I was going to take a Dremel to it and basically just cut out a section. Kind of like how this one's cut out. They should have done that to begin with. One of those knives that I will never sharpen because I hate the blade shape. There's just no effort behind it. What do you mean opposite tastes? You don't like expensive shit? If you don't, you're lying to yourself. I promise. Well, hey, if you're looking for a Tonto, I still have that small Nkosi Tonto for sale. It's got a weird looking blade too. It's just really small. When they say small Nkosi, they mean small Nkosi. It's not medium. Well, it's only $370. Only. Well, all I can say is I'm not holding that thing for anybody. I can't, I spent a lot of money to get that thing. I'm barely making anything on it. It was when I was cutting this that I realized that Jared isn't all that much better than me. And I know that's not very humble to say, but I think it's the truth. We're at the point of diminishing returns, right? If he's got years of sharpening knowledge and I've got 1 year, it is such small returns for continuing. So Gonzo, I got my first for me in Kosi. So now I officially have an everyday beater. First of all, I'm never going to be interested in serrations. It's a nice knife. I wish it had a lighter detent, but other than that, new knife. That's what's up. I'm going to be honest with you, dude. One, I don't have an address to send you the Civivis to. And two, I ran out of money. I spent $757 on Friday on 4 knives. I don't have enough money to afford shipping, so it'll be a bit. I spent all my money on this and this. And this one's up for sale. It was a really good deal. So it's weird because brand new, even not from dealers, they're selling for MSRP, which is wild to me. Oh, I'm definitely not going to Blade Show Atlanta. I'm not going to any of the Blade shows for a while. It's too expensive. But yeah, I got a ProTech Mordax up for sale for what was it, $215? It's a beautiful knife. It's just aluminum. This one's in MagnaCut though, so at least it's not the 20CV version of it. Went and double checked it against the local knife shop one just to make sure it wasn't fake, and it all checked out. Well, you have fun with that then. If you really like it, you should buy it. Give me money so I can go buy other knives. Alright, that's enough fidgeting. I don't need to sit here and play with a knife that I don't want to own for more than a month. Baltimore, what's up? Not much, just looking at some new knives. I don't like aluminum because I live in Idaho and it gets really cold here. I've told this story plenty of times. It gets really, really cold, like down to -20. And when you have that in your pocket and you reach past it in your pocket to grab something else, it's cold as shit. So it freezes the fuck out of your hand. It's like putting your hand against a piece of ice that's in your pocket, but it's not wet. Still getting used to opening it. It sucks all the heat out of everything else and then dissipates it elsewhere. It's great for cooling fins and stuff like that. You know what it sucks for? Retaining heat. Titanium's great for that. It stays relatively the same temperature as your body. But aluminum definitely doesn't. What a pain. Yeah, that is definitely one of the northern state issues, not a New Mexico issue. It's a fake Strider. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you guys and say that it's real. I didn't drop that kind of money on this. Especially knowing all the issues that they have going into it. It's not worth it. There are two main issues that these have. Even this fake one. No, this thing was lower quality. It had to be lower quality than a real one. It had to be, because if the fake ones are better, that's pathetic. I need to show you guys what I had to do to this thing to make it even remotely carryable. So first of all, I thinned out the backspacer because it needed it. The scales aren't flat, they're curved. And by curved, I don't mean contoured. I mean they bow. Even the frame side one bows inward. Oh, that pissed me off when I figured that out. Yeah, we'll use you. 56? Fuck that. How's the dude even in business? I need to know. Oh, they're tactical knives. They're designed by a guy who was in the military. I don't give a shit. If they suck, they suck. I gotta be careful because this one's sharp as shit too. Those should just slide out freely. But watch this. Let me grab, there you are. Well, I don't know what his whole controversy was. I'm still relatively new to the fact that people fuck up in industry as bad as they do. Dishonorable discharge as an E1? Dude didn't get promoted at all? At all. You shitting me? There's no way. Guys marry strippers and they still don't get discharged like that. So look at this. 493. 485. 481. So even from this section right here where it can't go any closer together to up here is, what was it, 0.1 millimeter difference? That's a lot in an inch and a half. That's an inch and a half from right here to here, and they're 0.1 millimeters to or closer together. Fucking bullshit. And that's after I fixed it. No, they just need to flatten their shit. I'll be honest, I wanted to join the Army because I'm really good with rifles. I'm really good with bolt actions. So my thought, go to sniper school, become a sniper, have fun, you know? Because it's not very likely I'm going to get deployed and do anything anyway, but even if I did, whoop-de-doo. Where was I going with this? Be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah, I'd like to start the knife business that I've been talking about for like a year. And I want to make the best knives for the least amount of money possible. I didn't go because I ran out of money and I needed a job to be able to afford where I was living. I would have went. This was back in this was back before the pandemic. Or no, it was just after the pandemic. On the Edge, what's up? Well, that depends. Are you broke? If you're broke, then you can be part of the Brokey Boy Club. Sure. Look at how flat that is. Okay? I just want to get this straight to you guys, right? This whole thing was DLC coded. And I had to, what did I do? 2 hours of flattening on a 400 grit to get it this flat. 2 hours on a 400 grit. That's bullshit. If the real ones are worse than this, then I definitely don't want one. Oh, just wait. I'm about to be as broke as I can be. I don't think you need to roll them. You just need to machine them properly. Let's go ahead and reapply. There, now it looks brand new. That's not the reason I'm doing that. It helps with the lock stick, which this one has really bad. I thought about doing a cold blued blade just for shits and giggles. I wanted to see what it would look like, and I never ended up doing it. I'm still tempted. I might do that one of these days. I'm wondering who the OEM for this is. I want to stay the fuck away from them. And by the sounds of it, for my knife project, I might not be going with Millet after all. They won't respond to my emails. They won't answer my calls. It's not worth putting up with all that shit just for me to have a knife made locally. Which sucks because then shipping gets involved. It's not the zero customer service department thing. They used to answer calls and now they don't. It's like a 4-dude department. It's not even a lot of people. They don't respond to Instagram comments. They don't respond to Facebook comments. They don't give a shit. And you know, when you got a local guy that's wanting to commission them for a run of 5 prototypes, and if that goes well, a run of 100 products. You know, I get that it's a relatively small amount, but wouldn't you want your name on something good? Because what they're doing now is they're doing OEM work and they're getting 0 credit. Sure, they make some of their own knives too, but those are dropped once every year, maybe. The whole reason I got that in Cosi was because I missed their drop. I was gonna buy one of theirs. I wanted to see how their products work out. Something else I did is I put a scratch on the pivot. So that way I can tighten it to where I like it. It needs to be tighter than that. Oh, there we go. I was talking to the service manager at Chris Reeve, and he was saying not to go with them. He says that they're sketchy people. Apparently, they have some unfinished beef from the past. I don't have both sides of the story though. So my local knife shop, one of the guys there says that Millet, when they left Chris Reeve to go make their own company, they took some materials with them without permission. I don't have Millet's side of the story, but apparently Koenig did the same thing to them. So that's fun. I need both sides of the story. That's what pisses me off. God, these are just so ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Oh, Taylor, are you still around? I got something fun to show you. If I ever send you a knife, be very, very careful. Because all of them are sharp. Give me just a sec. I'm cutting out a piece of... There we go. This took 5 minutes. Well, here's the problem. If you get cut by one of them, you have to buy it. How's I guess? What's up? Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a bit, other than talking to Jen. So did they say that they were shipping them out next Monday or yesterday? How much did that stealth run cost? Well, I know they said it. I just don't remember what they said. How did you like me sneaking in and getting the models that had defects? Instead of getting sent 14, we get sent 18. Gives us a couple models to do hard testing on and not feel bad about. Exactly, yeah. So my thought was do some harder testing on a couple of them. I want to see how they fare when they have bearings versus when they have washers. And I'm hoping they get sent with both because that's kind of one of the main selling points. How'd you get into first place so fast? How does that shit happen anyway? I'm going to redo this again. Why not? If we split it between the two of us, it's going to cost about $90 each. Or no. Well, for me, it's going to cost 6 times 7. So 6 times 7, about $42. So it'll be about $47 for me because I have envelopes for shipping. I can ship you like a shit ton of those. At least as many as I can fit in a box. When is Blade Show Atlanta? Or I guess that's just Blade Show, isn't it? Well, yeah, that's the plan. That's what my plan was. You ship me half of the shit that shows up, and then I ship out some of those. June 5th to the 7th, huh? Well, I know I'm not going. I can't afford to go. I can't afford to go to Blade Show West. With gas going up in price, it's going to cost about $350 to get there because I'm not taking a plane to drive that far or to fly that far and then not have a mode of transportation. I'm not old enough to rent a car. I can drink alcohol, I can buy firearms, I can go out to war, but I can't rent a car because I'm not 25. You think I'm going to pay somebody to drive me around Salt Lake City? Screw that. I don't want to be a passenger princess. Gross. I enjoy driving. Thank you very much. Yeah, but I'd rather not get arrested. That kind of defeats the point of Blade Show. When you're in a cell instead of out looking at new knives and stuff. It is a really nice knife. And it's finally got the right action because I just broke it in, or I just tightened it the way that I like it. Oh, it's perfect, almost. I want the Sebenza front scale on this. I want that cut out because I don't want to stab myself in the thumb every time I open it. I don't like flicking it with my thumbnail every time. Finally got this one broken in. What do you like? Do you like being able to flick a knife open, or do you like the slow roll? If you like the slow roll, go with the Sebenza. If you like flicking them open, Inkosi. I think the Sebenza has more aftermarket support, which isn't a whole lot to begin with. But well, I can flick this one too, almost. But I've spent months breaking this thing in. So, and this one, I just took it apart, cleaned it, and put it back together, and it's like this. My thumb is killing me from yesterday. I was doing a racing sim thing yesterday. I was white knuckling the steering wheel the whole time. I got a good time though. So hear me out, right? You don't need a Sebenza or an Inkosi. You could buy a heavily used Koenig Arius from me for more than both of those. Or I could try and keep on selling it, or keep on trying to sell it to that one guy who won't respond to my messages on Messenger. I was thinking about getting a Saga. I was this close to buying a Saga instead of that. And then I thought S90V versus MagnaCut. And then I thought, well, right now I'm wanting a hard use knife, and I'll stick with that. Oh, lucky you. Are you sending it back right after? No, you're keeping it? How much you want for it? They're hard to find used. They're really hard to find used. It seems like everybody that bought theirs is happy with it. These things are everywhere. God, I'd love being in your position right there. I've been trying to get companies to send me shit for years. I got one company to work with me, and then another company to work with me. I haven't heard a whole lot about S390. I know it exists, I know nothing about it. And I don't want to have anything to do with Kunwu. It sounds dumb, but I don't like Metal Complex, and they worked with him, so I don't want to work with them. I have to give them a sales pitch if I want them to send me shit. See, you said wasn't. I'm still not. Well, first of all, you create a YouTube channel. Then you say you're going to make a couple videos on something. And then they decide whether or not they want to send it to you. So my fun plan, as dumb as it sounds, is this will end up being the most abused in Kosi. Of course, I baby my Sabenzas a little bit, but I bought this one to use it, so. That's the plan. I mean, other than breaking the blade, that picture that I saw on Reddit was pretty bad. The dude, it was a Sabenza 25, so it wasn't an Nkosi, but it was basically the same thing. And the dude was prying with it and snapped the blade right across here. Or, no, right across here. I would not be happy if that happened. Yeah, I'm not going to be prying with it or anything, but I'll be using it. Leave some scratches on the blade. I don't care. He might be a bit, yes. Just a little bit. I think I'm going to stick with this blade. I'm probably going to... I was thinking about having it re-blasted, but... Nah. I like how smooth it is now. Yeah, except I've spent 300, 600, 1180, 1600, 1900. I spent $2,400 on Chris Reeve knives in the last 5 months. See, what happens is I buy and sell knives, right? This one's a personal knife. I spent my money on this. But the channel's money I keep separate, even though it doesn't own or it doesn't make me any money. I buy and sell knives for the channel, and I keep my money separate from the channel money. I had to pay tax on this shit from eBay. I wish I would have bought that one that popped up on Blade Binge for $275. $275 for a large Nkosi. I mean, sure, they anodized it blue. I have never made money on... Actually, that's not true. I got monetized on YouTube for a bit, and my view count went from having 8,000 people in my streams every day to... I think I went down to 800 or less. Some days I was at 300. So the moment I got monetized, my channel died. Imagine that. Just my luck. So I decided after that I'm going to stop focusing on the channel and start focusing on trying to pump out knife designs instead. Well, here's the thing. Last year when I got monetized, I think I had 2,000 subscribers or something, and I was on track to hit 5,000 by the end of the year. And then I got monetized, and my views dropped by about 90%. And it went from me on track to hit 5K by the end of the year to I hit 2,300, I think, by the end of the year. I was getting 50 subscribers a day every day, which was huge for me. I was very disappointed. I'm still disappointed. That could have gone somewhere. But here we are. I dropped a knife last night and just about stabbed myself in the leg. Ground Fog, what's up? I dropped this one that I customized, and it landed on the chair arm instead of my leg that was 2 inches away. Scared the shit out of me. So Taylor, you never gave me a price. How much you want for that Saga? Did they make any aftermarket scales for those things? Or is it just the Richlight ones? Here's the worst part, right? I have a Grail I'm saving up for already. And I honestly should have bought it instead of this one, but I don't normally buy knives from other people. I don't. It's just not usually my thing. But a Saga I find interesting because it's basically the Chinese version of a Sebenza. But I think it's what's it called? I think it's an integral. It's not DLC coded, is it? Oh, inlays. There we go. $180 for an inlay. Jesus. What's it made out of? I don't give a shit about your. Oh, it's titanium. Okay. That's still too much money, but. Huh. I guess you'll find out now, won't you? Are they Taiwan? Are they made in Taiwan or Japan or Taiwan or China? The Saga, not the company of which we will not speak. You know, if I keep talking on stream, I can't go to the knife shop. Pyrotech is China. Okay. I'm assuming Maxace got their shit figured out now. Now that I think about it, what the hell are you doing in here? I'm sure there's plenty of other streams that you could be on getting more attention, and you're stuck here with 3 people. If you like bothering me. Oh. When are we going to start that hate campaign on Nitro V? We got to do that. Specifically, we need to clarify production Nitro V. We need to clarify that because that's a big deal. I've heard good things about custom Nitro V at like 62 where it's guaranteed to be there. But all these companies, oh, yeah, fair enough. That's why I stopped going to Metal Complex's streams. It went from being a normal stream to, I think he had like 50 viewers on a regular basis when I started watching him, and then all of a sudden it was like 250, and you could never read a comment before it disappeared. And then it just went all giveaways, and that's all it ever is now. And it's just not my thing. I want to sit there and talk to people. I want to have good conversation. I don't want to sit. I don't even join the giveaways either. I never really did unless there was something interesting. I was also a little more reserved back then. We'll start a campaign. Push companies to stop using Nitro V. Either that or get it right. That's the problem, is they never get it right. And I think that because they haven't gotten it right for so long, I think it's been only a year or so, but they pumped out so many models in Nitro V with bad heat treats that the reputation of Nitro V has been ruined. I don't think you can come back from the mistakes that they've made. They'd need to replace it with something else. Now I'm thinking something like we need an upgrade to 13 or 14C. Sure. I don't care where you're from. How's your day going? I just don't want Nitro V anymore. I'm tired of it, man. Uh, it's got a bad reputation in my mind, and I won't touch it unless I can sell it. But even then, now I sharpen it before I sell it or buy it because I'm not willing to take the risk of that same thing happening again. Speaking of which, I still need to send you that baby banter. I've thought about getting a Grimsmo, but the Norseman blade is ugly as shit to me. Nice. Glad to have new people. That it's the recurve. I can't stand the recurve on that thing. Other than that, the knife looks great. And that Tonto, ugh. Ugh. No thank you. Well, you got to keep in mind, I've only been into knives for like 4 years. I started collecting in 21. No, I started collecting in 22. I don't have anything in my pocket. They're all on the table. I wonder if a little bit of extra. God, if I put extra grease on it, that means I have to take it apart though. You know what's funny is I saw one of Knife Pile's videos back when he had like 30 subscribers, and I left a comment. He never got back to me, and then it was like, "Thanks for showing off," or some, because he was able to sharpen a Tonto super easily, and I'm like, "Well, nice job showing off." I put a laughing emoji. He never got back to me, and now the dude's got like as many subscribers as I do in a couple months. I know he posts more often than I do, but I somewhat lost the interest of making YouTube videos. I don't enjoy making them anymore. So I'm not going to sit there and force myself to do it. The guy's entertaining, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those things where if you blow up too quickly, you're probably going to end up having an ego. And someone needs to knock you down a step or two, because look at what Metal Complex turned into. I don't only want to show off my high end stuff, right? But I I don't like the cheap stuff anymore, right? I like titanium a lot. So any chance I get to get a knife in titanium, I'm pretty happy with it. And it's not just me trying to show off, hey, I've got more money than you or anything like that. It's more of a I've spent years building a reputation of reliably selling stuff and getting things to people quickly. And selling good stuff. And all of that paid off with the shit that's on the table. Except this one isn't mine. This one's my buddy's and he doesn't want it. I'm still trying to sell it. So if you're interested in one of the first 20 Koenig Ariuses made in-house, it's up for sale. $600. Well, that's the thing. Budget stuff, you don't usually get titanium frame locks. And frame locks are my thing right now. So stuff like this, I have 2 of these, I have 2 of these, and I have a small one of these. I need to get rid of my second one of this, but somebody has it on hold. The small one's still up for sale, but the small one's really small. You started with titanium frame locks? Dude, I started with rainbow stainless steel literal gas station knives. I didn't realize this. I just went and checked. So yeah, they make some Saga inlays in titanium, and they're half an ounce. But I was reading it, and then I read this custom product alarm. This product requires 3 to 6 months after placing an order, and it is not refundable. That's a long time to sit there and wait. I'll look that up real quick. Dude, their turnaround time, the Chris Reeve turnaround time, they said for this blade was going to be a month, and it was exactly a month. Although they say blade replacements on their website are 9 to 12 months. They just happened to be making them when I ordered one, so I was lucky on that one. So what is this knife that you were talking about? Oh, I've seen these before. A phone. You know, they're not priced terribly, but I doubt they're made in the US. Oh, they're made in Canada. Well, shit, I didn't see that coming. I thought for sure this was going to be made in China for $350. That may need to go on the list because that doesn't look bad. Oh, see? Bestech OEM. There we go. So they need to change that then. It may be a Canadian company, but they're not made in Canada. That's a big deal to get wrong. Blade HQ fucks up a lot of their shit. If I look, I'd rather get something made in Canada than designed by somebody in Canada. Yeah, they are. And don't get me wrong, Bestech has some great knives, and they're pretty good at making them. But if I'm going to drop that kind of money, I want to drop it on. Oh my god, the new Strider. I think it's an SNG. Oh, that is dumb. A Strider SNG with the Donut G10 That, my God. Ridiculous. David, what's up? How's it going? I just got a new, or used Incosi, so I'm pretty happy. I still need to go out and take pictures with it, but it's not the right time for pictures because the golden hour is perfect here in Boise, as long as it doesn't get cloudy. You could do that. What other manufacturers, what knife companies are in Canada? Folding knives. Other than Grimsmo, obviously. Well, they just popped up and I've never heard of them. I'll look. They have one folding knife. Okay. You got titanium options by chance? No? No titanium. Man. How much are they? Their website is slow. It's not as bad as Blade Binge, but it's like not great. Oh, apparently you can order them tariff free. That's what the website just told me. Blade finish. We'll go with stonewash if it's an option. Maybe satin. Oh, they didn't respond to me either. They responded to what's his name. So $308. It's not terrible, but I need to know. Okay, polished stonewash. I like that. Handle options. I don't want any of those. Carbon. $52 to make them carbon. Holy shit. That's black G10. No knife oil. $105. 114. Fuck you guys. Carbon fiber, I guess. 360.80. I'd be going with regular carbon, if anything. It's got a good shape. Ooh, dude, that's perfect. Right there is the perfect spot to put an aftermarket thumb stud. And they've got this cutout right here. Oh. Okay, so it'll go on the list, but I doubt I'm going to get it anytime soon. It's not like number one on the list or anything like that. Number one on the list right now is I don't remember. Oh, one on the list is a ZT 562 Ti. I was gonna buy a Hinderer Eclipse, but I decided ZT has better support for when you break shit. So I'll stick with ZT. I'm not here for the custom shit. I'm just here for the customer service. I can do the custom shit on my own. Ooh, I should call Matthew at the Chris Reeve shop and ask if I ask really nicely with a pretty please if they'll glass blast a knife for me. Have them glass blast the scales of a 562 Ti. Oh, it'd look amazing. What other knife should I look into? I'll keep that one on the list, but yeah, but then I gotta find the blasting media that they use. I should go with an interface. Next time that he does a set of them. There's no way you're getting one of these things to test. The blade's carbon fiber, except the edge. That is like really risky. Especially for an $1,800 knife. What, do you have a knife coming out? If so, I'm intrigued, but yeah, I saw that tungsten carbide test. I didn't comment on it, but I saw it. 61.6 or 71.6. That's nasty. That is nasty. Badass. I'm still mad at that company though. I had an email chain with them going for months. They said that they were going to send me one of those, and they never did. And they stopped. I was in contact with the guy that runs or owns the company, I think, and then he ghosted me just before the release. They had 12 followers on Instagram when I found them. That was it. Originally, um, yeah, they popped up as an ad on my Instagram feed. It pissed me off because I was there before everybody else. Literally, I was like the first person to send them an email and to reach out to them. Oh well. I'm used to just not getting a message back. That's what I'm used to. But we had like a 3 or 4 month correspondence where we talked like 30 times or something. And then all of a sudden I got ghosted in October of 23. It's that Olive company. Olive knives, the ones that they started off with the Arbor, a fixed blade with an interesting grind, and then they moved over to that tungsten carbide folding knife. And they were going to have a second version in LMAX, but I think they canceled that. I'm disappointed. I can't say I'm like overly mad, but I'm disappointed at how it ended up. Yeah, the Lento was the one that they were gonna send me. I don't know. The Kunwu controversy between me and them is I don't like Metal Complex, and they worked with him. It's it's not really controversial. It's just I don't like the guy. It's because he forgot where he came from. He went from 200,000 subscribers to 800,000 in a couple months. Absolutely blew up and forgot the fact that he's just some dude. I'm just some dude too, but I doubt I'm going to ever forget that. Whoop de doo. You have a successful knife company. Nobody cares. You're just a person. And that's how I plan on looking at it. And I hope if I ever change, you guys tell me because I don't need to be the next Metal Complex. All right, I'm starting to get Reeve thumb again. Fucking stabbing myself in the thumb every time I open that shit. Well, it seems like there's only two major folding knife manufacturers in Canada. So that's a little disappointing to me. With how big Canada is, you'd think that there'd be more. I think I counted up his collection value a while back, and it was like the value of a house. We were looking into that a while back. He had like $180,000 in knives or some shit. Whether he had them all at once, I'm not 100% sure about that. But see, I'm kind of glad that this channel didn't blow up the way that I wanted it to. Because now that it didn't, I'm not going to turn into something that I hate. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to be turning into a shill for other companies that I don't agree with. There are certain companies that I like. Oh yeah, I don't like him, but whoop-de-doo, he gives away a bunch of stuff. And it's not that I like really hate the guy. I'm sure that he as a person is fine. It's what he became as the face of the channel. He used to be relatively normal. But now all it is he gets sent a knife, he makes a video on it, like 2 videos a day. Screw that. Well, I know, or I think I know, that Bees has something going on between him and Ramet. Don't get me wrong, they have some cool stuff, but it's not just the fact that they have some cool stuff. There's something going on there. And an interesting thing that I find about it is if there is financial vested interests in that company, I haven't seen him bring up that it's an ad, which is a concern to me. I bring that up every time that I make a video. If I'm sent something, I don't get paid for it. I just get. Yeah, that's true. Which is why I'm wondering when I do start a knife company how much I want to push my own stuff. Of course, I'd want to push it pretty hard, but I try to be as honest as possible. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you guys and tell you guys something's good when it isn't. Need to loosen this again. I used to. Here's the thing. I need to find a bunch of people. Taylor, I need to send you a knife. I need to find a bunch of medium to large YouTubers that I can send a prototype knife to. And the reason I need to send Taylor a knife is because we're having a prototype made, or it's already made. They're getting shipped over here. But I want to be 100% sure that it's at 61 HRC like they claimed. Having accurate numbers is a big deal to me. Oh my god, he's using super glue on a Chris Reeve. Yep. Deal with it. Oh yeah, if you go over to Knives I Guess on Instagram, he's got pictures of them. I didn't share the pictures because I wasn't sure if we wanted to share them yet, but he just threw them out there. So it's his design. I 3D modeled the whole thing. Spent 90 hours designing it. And yeah, now we got a prototype. Because I don't want to wait forever for this shit to be done. I want it to be done drying in about 5 seconds. Like that. Dude, it takes like 2 days. I'm not waiting 2 days to play with my knife. Are you shitting me? Okay, I need to break out the Allen wrenches then. Yeah, so that knife is called the IGS, which is short for I guess so. My first design, if that company's willing to work with me, if this whole thing works out well, is going to be the Cherub. And the Cherub is basically an Inkosi, but it's got G10 scales and it's a liner lock. It's not the same exact design, but it's relatively close. It's like an Inkosi had a baby with a large Inkosi had a baby with a Ruik M662 TZ. That knife is pretty nice, by the way. No, it's a brand new one. Oh wait, the yellow one or the design I'm talking about right now? Because the design I'm talking about right now, came up with in 3 hours. I was fully done 3D modeling, or except for the washers. I need to do washers. It took me 3 hours. I have not seen your prototypes. Nope. I don't think you ever said that you were actually working on something. The one I designed myself, I have one that give me a sec, guys. Something came loose on this and I need to work on it. The first design that I was working on is still, it's finished. It took me 76 hours. It's finished, but I don't have anybody to make it because, again, Millet hasn't answered my emails or my calls. So I don't have an OEM for it right now. You know, they seemed like the guys to work with, and then they just haven't replied. I'm a little pissed off about that. And you're free to send the prototype pictures or whatever now if you want on Instagram, and I'll look at them. Well, this is getting weird. Give me half, damn it. That's fair. Oh, dude. I'm telling you guys, a dot of super glue. Just a dot. That's all it takes. Oh shit, I forgot to do that. Let me put these away real quick. After I finish sharpening, I always do the same thing, and I forgot to do it this time. So who's the OEM on that? I don't know what this stuff is. It's super glue from the dollar store. It works pretty good. I mean, it's hard to complain when you get 2 tubes of that shit for $1.25. So it works pretty good, and heat works on it. Isopropyl alcohol doesn't do shit to it for the most part, but acetone works great. Well, anyway, it works wonders. By the way, this was made back when Crucible was still around. I'll stick with my super glue. It's cheap. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. The streams haven't been doing great lately. I'm not going to complain too much. I mean, I'm sure it works great though, right? Who's finally opening this weekend? I don't know what you're talking about. Shit. That thing's sharp. Look, man, my memory's shit. Everybody knows this. I genuinely don't remember anything. I'll keep that in mind. I judged you for that? That doesn't surprise me. That sounds like something I'd do. Oh, the other thing I was supposed to do. Sharpening stone. I don't remember you saying that at all. Like, usually something like that would jog my memory. I know you said that you were talking about a flea market. I don't remember you saying that you partnered with a guy. I don't remember that at all. Genuinely. Well, at least we both have something in common. We both hate the government. So it sounds like that might be going somewhere then. Yeah, I don't remember you telling me shit about that. I know you talked about going to a flea market or something. I don't remember you talking about working on moving one. I got my first gray hair the other day. In my eyebrows. I'm 24 and I have gray hair. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought you were just working. Yeah, I genuinely don't think that you told me any of this. I shave every other day, so in my beard isn't exactly an option. No, you're good. I just thought that was hilarious. You're getting all mad at me for not remembering that, and I'm like, you never told me. I'm pretty sure I would have remembered something like that. I think that it's a genetic thing. Getting gray hair early. Yeah, I thought I would have remembered something like that. Maybe you thought you did, but you didn't. Maybe you were dreaming about me and dreaming about how you told me things and I wonder if Taylor is still checking that, or if he sent me pictures. Ooh, pictures from Taylor Hardness. Yeah, I had 3 in my right eyebrow. I didn't pull them or anything. I'm just gonna leave them how they are because fuck it. I don't give a shit. I could have full gray hair by the time I'm 30 and I still wouldn't care. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so much smoother than it was when I caught it, too. If you guys are interested, Pinkerton has a prototype titanium frame lock knife for $250. One of his designs that he's working on. That's not priced bad at all. Hmm. I just don't give a shit because my looks don't really matter to me all that much. So, pardon me while I shave my arm. What are you sorry for? Or is that an auto translation to something else? Wow. It said sup KO and it translated automatically to I'm sorry. Fucking auto translate. What did it translate to? What language was that supposed to be? Supco means sorry somewhere. All right, fuck it. I'm going to look that up. Translate. Supko. Filipino. And it means my soup. That's not right. Supko means my soup. Fun. And strange means tight, apparently. Because this autocorrected to say tight. You know, the only reason I have that auto translate on is for when somebody from another country pops in and says something. I want to make sure that they're not causing problems. You like that strange tight? Let's move the Koenig out of the way. I'm proud of that. I should be. I earned that. One of the more impressive things that I've done, whittling hair with a 20-degree edge. You see all these guys doing hair whittling edges and they're like 15 degrees per side, blah, 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 blah. I did it with 20. 20. That is thick. I'm waiting for one of these days where I like catch myself right there. What's that whole thing about? Like big fucking whoop, I guess. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. I think I'm the problem. I wasn't always that good. I'll admit that. I used to suck at sharpening. I'm sure you guys know when you get 100 hours in a video game, you tend to get really good at that video game. Okay, now imagine that video game has two motions and you have to do the same motion with both hands and you did it for 150 hours. So that's sharpening for me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. I had a good time cleaning my my new Nkosi, so but yeah, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one. And yeah, it was good to talk to you, Cody. Zoro, we'll see you later. And I'll talk to Taylor later too. Have a good one, guys.